Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Expat Interview. I'm your host, David Wally, and got the news is in. The news is in on the expenses for the month of June. And although they're comparable, they're a little bit higher. But what I've done is a little database here so that you can see how I've come up with my figures. Now, just one column at a time here. First, the all important ATM. Now, this column isn't really totaled up to become part of the monthly total. I just put my ATM withdrawals there and subtract out of them expenses that I know do not belong in the month at all to come up with a final dollar amount which will be added to the food and beverage column, because most of the time lately, and especially in June, I have been paying cash for my meals. It's just, it's too difficult to pay with a debit card in most of the restaurants. They just really don't want you to, and they make up every excuse in the book for you not to. So I just decided, well, I'm just going to accommodate them, and I'll start paying cash more often. I just don't really like carrying all the cash around with me. I'm pretty clumsy, and I don't want to lose it. Okay, but you'll see my ATM withdrawals came up to $677.31. Now, of course, those oddball cents, as you know, you don't take those out of the ATM, but when you're getting the Vietnam Dong, that's the amounts that it equates to, okay? So, and then I've taken out $102 because that's in my rent column. We'll get to that later. And I've taken out $104 because that is, I used money I took out in May for June for where I'm at now in my stay. Well, actually, I took out in June for July. Yeah, for my stay where I'm at right now. Okay, I got some big news about that too. And then the $30 is cash that I still have on hand from what's left of the ATM withdrawals. The $37, I bought a bus ticket to Hanoi, and that's part of the news. I'll tell you at the end. And the $18, I also bought a battery pack charger, so that when I'm on my, I'm going to get to that later. I bought one. I'll tell you later why I bought it. But I got some pretty exciting stuff coming up. All right, so that means out of the entire ATM, when I subtract those things I know that weren't used for expenses in June or for something other than food, that left $386.31. When I add that to the 147, well, I don't know what the 370 is. I think I made a couple adjustments and forgot to change that. So anyway, I've calculated food and beverage a total of $518.22. The list of expenses under the food and beverage column are debits, where I did use a debit card. So the debit and the leftover cash, once again, with all that totaling $518.22. So it's a little bit more than what I had hoped to. I eat a lot of Western cuisine, that adds up. I'm usually well over $10 a meal on that. And if I have a few beers, it's $100. No, it gets more. Now, what I'm really surprised at is all my Grab expenses. As you see here, I've got two columns for it. Grab is the Uber here. I really just didn't think that I had taken these many Grab trips, but I guess I did. And when you look at the total, though, for the entire month, all those trips, $114.27, I mean, in the States, I mean, that doesn't even pay your automobile insurance. And in a lot of people's cases, that won't even come close to paying their gasoline. So, and here, really, if I decided to rent a motorbike, renting a motorbike for an entire month would be double that with the rental fee and the gas and whatever I needed for it. So I still consider that as far as my entire month of transportation, riding around in a nice vehicle that's air conditioning to get out of the heat. To me, the 114 bucks is well worth it. Okay, the cell phone here is you'll see another one. Like last month, I only had the $6.98 for the data plan I have that I paid, less than like $21 for my 4 gigs of data for the phone that I bought here. It's a Redmi 13, and all I do with this basically is I use it as a hotspot to power my iPhone. And I'm going to take a break here and tell you a little story I've learned. It's a very difficult thing. Anyway, the 1041 is locks in my cell number so that I don't lose my cell number in the U.S. Here's a problem that I found. I know that I'm having, and I know that many of my acquaintances here are having. It's a major issue. So if you're take note of this, because if you're planning on traveling abroad, I don't care where it is, and if you don't pay for your U.S. cell phone international fee, which is a lot of money, when it comes in to the point to where and you need to be a website you're trying to get into needs to verify you, and you know how they want to text you a 4-digit or 6-digit code to verify that you are you. Not having that phone creates a huge problem. I mean, I'm totally locked out of my PayPal account right now because of that. Because cell phone is the only way PayPal will verify you. I mean, most companies, they have a couple of different ways. Some are even adapting WhatsApp, because even though my cell number from Florida is not working here, it is still my WhatsApp number. So I can still make calls and text with anybody that has the ability to take my phone number in WhatsApp. And one company, I can't remember who it is, that's part of the way they will verify who you are, is by sending you a text to WhatsApp instead of the other type of text. I'm not that knowledgeable on what they call them all, but so no, one of my buddies that I've met here, he's locked out of all of his bank accounts. He can't get into any of them because of this reason. So there's a company called Tello. And it operates, I think, in almost every country here in Southeast Asia. I'm going to be working on that, and I can port my U.S. number to it, which is an awesome thing. It's going to be more expensive than I would have been paying for the Vietnam data, but it's a lot less expensive by a long shot than what it would be for you to pay international calling ability on whatever plan you have. I mean, I've been with T-Mobile for years, and it was well over $100 a month to have that ability. To where Tello, from what I can see, I might be looking at $35-40, but that U.S. number will be able to be used anywhere. So. I'll let you know how that goes. I'm probably going to be working on that in the next few days. Okay, so then my trip insurance, once again, that's United Healthcare Safe Trip. Highly recommend it if you're going to be leaving the States. I did see that they also have United Kingdom and Canada on their website. So if any of you viewers from there are planning a trip, look into that too. if you watch the video that I was in the hospital, I went into detail how that visit to the hospital went and how the coordination between the hospital and United Healthcare went. It was pretty darn smooth. United Healthcare paid my entire bill, which was 5,450,000 dong, adding up to about $214, and they pay that direct. But anyway, that's my United Healthcare. And then the rent, once again, that is the $102 I had to pay for 10 days after leaving the rat-infested dump. That I just couldn't take it anymore. And I had to pay $102 when I went to Ann's family homestay in Old Town, Hoi An, which I was so happy with that stay. The bed was a little hard for me. I mean, we use the term firm in the States. However, hard is a better explanation for a lot of the beds here. This one in the background, it's it's nicer than that, but it's still, I would call this one firm, on a very firm side, which is not typically my favorite. But anyway, that's what that $102 is. And the $498.65 is the rent I had paid. Obviously, I paid it in advance, but I want to show it on my monthly expenses because it was an expense that, even if I was paying a landlord directly, it'd be applicable. But, that $498.65 for that place, even if it weren't for the rats, it was still way too much. It was the place was very dated. And the pictures must have been taken, a long time ago. I mean, because the place was just worn, just was not worth, if I would have paid $375 for it, I think I would have felt it was worth it, but not with the rats there. It's not worth anything. And Airbnb that still lets the girl rep it on their website. So that's what I mean. Be careful with Airbnb. I gotta warn you, I've been using Booking.com, and I'm much happier by far with that. And the Airbnb kind of makes it look like there's this huge discount. Well, all in all, you stay a month at a place on Booking.com. I don't see where they're any more expensive than they are for that fraudulent 28-day discount that Airbnb shows you. And then there's no booking fees with Booking.com. I don't understand. Anyway, the renter doesn't pay it. I don't know if the landlord pays any fees. So then we jump into the miscellaneous. The $12 is for 2 of these shirts. So they're $6 a piece, not a bad deal. However, they did shrink bad on me. So I bought a XXL and it fits me like a large now. So it shrunk really bad. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully I keep losing weight. So $4 was for my new hat. I had to get a new hat. I lost the other one in the rainstorm. These straw hats, they get wet and then they don't work anymore. They just flop. So, and then my Netflix, $13.17. Everybody's got to have something to watch. Of course, I do travel with a jailbroke Amazon stick. I mean, if you want to learn more of that, give me an email, ExpatInterview@yahoo.com. So the total month still didn't come out too bad, even with having to spend extra money on rental that I didn't plan on, $1,377 and change, $180 more than what it was last month. Most of that can be found in that $102 for 10 days of rent someplace that I had to go to get away from a rat-infested junk heap place. And then I think I said right in the beginning that Hoi An's a little bit more expensive to live than what Da Nang was anyway. And, of course, both places, it was at An Bang Beach before. Now, well, this is July, so it doesn't matter. But and by the beach, even it gets more expensive, obviously, just because of the location. I really thoroughly enjoyed my days in Old Town. You got everything within 100 feet any direction. I mean, pharmacies, convenience stores, restaurants coming out your ears, and taverns, and it's just, you don't need to go far. I mean, the farthest I walked would go to the night market, just to, have fun and walk around and look at all the people. So anyway, that's where the extra money is. Once again, $1,377. And like, I didn't hold back. I didn't drink as much beer this in June. Kind of took a little bit of a break, but yeah. So that's where we wound up. Still, not bad at all. Living expense. And sure, if I wasn't jumping around all the time from city to city or country to country, to where I could get a local rental, I could knock this down by $200 just on my rent a month, at least, maybe more. Just depends on the place. And yeah, I'd probably be using Grab less often, because I mean, I didn't use Grab much when I was in Old Town, because everything is right at walking distance. You don't need a Grab. So yeah, I could see where I could get that down to probably $1,100 easily. And if I wanted to live like a monk, or local or whatever, I could get it done under 1,000. I'm pretty sure. But that's not me. I mean, I'm not rich, but I want to have a good time and experience my life. Okay, so that's it for the expenses. I did want to tell you about something I'm really excited about. I had rented this place where I'm at for the entire balance of the month until I leave in July 28th for Thailand. I'm all booked there for Koh Samui in Phuket area. I've got a really nice place to stay there. Anyway, that's what it looks like. But it's brand new, much like this place. But anyway, instead of staying here in this location until the 28th, it's been nagging at me that I wanted to go to Hanoi and do the Hoi An Loop. And I'm gonna. So I leave on the 4th. I got a bus fare for $37, which is one of these numbers here. It's a sleeper bus. It takes about 16 hours from Hoi An to Hanoi, and then from Hanoi, I've got a place all booked already. And I'm going to take another bus. I don't know exactly when during that stay. I'm just going to kind of watch the weather, because these Hoi An loops, the spelling is right here. If you come to Vietnam and you don't do this, I think it's incredibly remiss. It's some of the most awesome sceneries and landscapes that I think a person can ever see. So I'm going to do that when I get that booked. It's a 3-day, 3-day, 2-night, or vice versa, tour. And I'm undecided yet whether or not I'm going to do a open Jeep tour, or I'm going to ride on the back of a motorcycle and a motorbike, I should say, in a tour group. But I will be doing a video, creating some beautiful video for you guys to put on. Like I say, it's some of the most beautiful landscape that you're going to ever see. I've watched a few videos on it myself, and I'm just so anxious to do it. So that's going to be a lot of big fun. So that's all I have for you today, guys. Hopefully this information really, tells you how much the cost of living could be here for anybody. I try to break it down into very good detail so that I'm not leaving stuff out, and just showing you kind of a basic basic numbers just to get a video out there. It's important to me that it's as true as possibly can be, and you're never gonna. I mean, to me, it'd be really hard to spend $1,500 a month here. I mean, you have to really. I mean, unless you just rented a real nice place. I mean, I guess if you had a lot of money, you're going to probably rent a real nice newer condo on the beach where you can spend a lot of money. But that's not for me. I'm frugal. I'd rather find the places that are going to do what I want them to do for this channel and show people that there is a place that you can move to and live comfortably, most likely just on your Social Security, and maybe even save money along the way. So, all right, thanks a lot. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.